Hey, hey, viewers of Light, welcome in. I hope that you're all doing well. So, I have to tell something. From about 9 a.m. yesterday morning till about 11:30 last night, I was trying to download the Power Words meditation, but it just wouldn't download. Now, normally I would have been frustrated or even panicked, right? Because I needed to get the video out there. But I even surprised myself. I remained quite calm, um, and I accepted that there was a reason why it had to happen that way. So, for the past 2 weeks, I've been getting the message something sacred this way comes, and I just saw 1000 on the timer. And I've always been patient, right? Open and aware because I know that in time and explanation of a repeated message would always come. So, waking up this morning, I received my answer or explanation, however you want to take that. It was an initiation. And we are always invited to an initiation or a rite of passage, of which there are 3 stages. It is the soul. Although we are invited, it is the soul that chooses and not the earthly personality. So, excuse me, the first stage would be separation, what they call separation. And this is when we leave something familiar behind, whether that is people, situations, circumstances, a way of thinking, being. But it's normally something that really takes us out of that comfort zone or out of that consciousness. Because whenever we repeat something over and over, it becomes a consciousness that we kind of stay in until such time that we break out of it and we ascend out of that consciousness. So then the second stage would be the transition. And this is a time of testing, of learning, and of growing. The third stage is the one where we incorporate and integrate all that we have learned. Right? So a rite of passage marks a very important life transition that prepares us for a new, and in this instance, it is a passage to a higher level of evolution or consciousness. So we have incarnated at this time to bring forward a new golden age, and many of us have experienced an initiation on some level, in different ways, of course, over this full moon period, which incidentally was the last super full moon of 2024, which breaks down to a 7, and which incidentally is the number of the initiation of the union of the self with the infinite, and is a perfect and complete cycle. And 11, sometimes called the teacher, because it teaches us many life lessons and which relates to our soul's growth and to a new phase of spiritual enlightenment and development. With reference to something sacred this way comes is in fact a testament to the higher self and our journey of ascension through the dimensions of consciousness. With this encounter or realization, we receive awareness of and alters the understanding of ourselves. Perhaps it signals a deep inner awakening a moment of clarity where we confront the truth of our existence. It could be our purpose or the deeper dimensions of our being, a healing experience, even, or a transformative realization that shakes the foundation of the ego and invites us to step into a new phase of our lives. And incidentally, every new phase of our lives has a new consciousness. In relation to the message of assimilation, it could, it could be seen as a moment when the self, the ego, that is the person we believe ourselves to be, is brought into contact with the sacred nature of the soul. It is a moment where our ordinary sense of self is expanded, where the veil between the material world and the deeper spiritual truth begins to thin and merge. It is a call for us to either transcend the limitations of the ego, to let go of false identities, and to embrace a more expansive sacred understanding of one's place in the universe. Or it could be a profound integration of self and soul, where the individual begins to live in alignment with its true nature, no longer at odds with our deepest essence. So be reminded, dear souls, that the sacred is always near, often just beyond the veil of our ordinary awareness, and that through this encounter with the sacred, that we come to know ourselves and our soul in its truest form. This can be both an inner and an outer journey, one that leads to the realization that the sacred is not somewhere else or somewhere out there, but it is in fact always with us, waiting to be recognized and embraced, inviting a sense of awe, of reverence, and readiness for a transformative experience. And so, my beloved, something sacred this way comes, is in fact here. So from my heart song to yours, I send you peace, love and light. Namaste.